and the beautiful, deadly Wizard's Tower. Tall, stately, and now in a 5x5 form factor for that 5x5 base build challenge. It works really well, it's actually easy to build, and I'm going to show you how and how effective it is. Alright, you have seen a little bit of what it looks like, or could look like, but how do we actually make it? We're going to start with, maybe we just clear out just a little bit of an area here. Let's say, actually, probably down one more. Let's do that. We're going to clear up an area. That's not what we want to do. Come on, let's target that one. Yes. That one? That one is better. Like so. And we're going to go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 maybe. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like this. And we're going to basically just make it concrete because, of course, we need to have a nice flat area. And I'm going to be using the level tool to actually accomplish that. If you don't know how to enable this, I do have a video. I will try to remember to link that in the description below because that makes it a lot easier to do some of this. And yes, we can just manually fill this one out. Like so. Now we got a nice big area here. And let's cancel that. We're going to make it 5x5, obviously. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5. Something like this. Of course, otherwise it wouldn't really make sense. And we're going to make it, let's see, how high do we want to make it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is this. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's start with 20. We can always increase the size later on, and we're going to do something like that. Actually, it's going to be 21 because that's how this works. Something like this is going to be, and again, we're going to go back to using the level 2 to just fill this out because otherwise it's going to take just more time to build this up. It's a really convenient tool when you're making things in creative, and yes, of course, you could do this in survival. It just would be... let's redo that. It would just take you more time because you will have to just do all of this one by one by one by one. So this is just a lot faster because I'm just putting things in here and clearing up a little bit of the rubbish that fell off. And we now have our tower. Actually looks much more solid than I really thought about it. So the basic principle of Wizard's Tower is that you are trying to get the zombies to just slowly make their way up. And because it's very... What is that one? Because it's really slow for them to jump up, it has the really interesting consequence of it taking them a lot of time. So every time we force them to walk up here, it takes them extra time to walk up and jump up. What happens is that they come here, run up here, walk up, run up here, walk up, jump up rather, and then they continue. And we are using that one, that mechanics in this build in order to just make it troublesome for the zombies to make their way up. So we're sort of hollowing out the side because of course we need them to be able to... Interesting that that one sort of hides a block. Never really seen that before. But anyway, let's light it up a little bit. You see, I continue just going my way up here. Like so. And like so. And again, we have that weird block there. And we have a weird block here. I guess it's because I've been... Oh, and we get that as well. I'm going to have to sort of tidy up that as well. It's because some of the blocks basically broke and then the game sort of thinks that they're still there. You see, like that. And let's see. So they're going around here. It's a pretty solid way of doing it. I'm going to do everything in concrete. You probably would want to steel up some of these ones, but you know, this is faster to do, and you can always steel it up just as you build and get everything completed. If you wanted to build this in survival, you probably would want to make it in wood, then upgrade it to cobblestone. Because that way, at least, if something goes wrong, you can always change it and bring it all down rather than wasting all the concrete and everything. Let's go something like this. It looks actually pretty good because you see it's basically going around once. This is one round coming up here, and we probably don't need very much more. What we're going to do... we just want to make sure that it takes them a long time to come up, because then it takes them, well, longer to fall down and longer to run up. Something like this. That should do it. We're going to, and so this is our top, which is effectively pretty much 1, slightly above 1. And we're going to hollow this out a little bit because we do need, we're going to do something with the space up here as well. Like this. Okay, we probably have to see. This. Okay, let's do this then. Let's close this off here and let's have slightly smaller inside. And yeah, this looks pretty good overall. And let's take out this. Yeah, I think this is basically, let me just do a quick paint so it's easier to see sort of the path up. This is a lot easier to see. Otherwise the gray sort of blends in. You can't really see the path up, and this is basically what it is. And how does that work? Actually pretty straightforward. Let's go up here and let me spawn in one of our really good friends. Was the Potter Girl. Let's bring in a couple here, and I'm going to just do that. You'll see how they come up here. And one actually got lost, which is okay. Let's shoot a little bit so they make some noise. You see how slow it is? I mean, they're feral, so they're running as fast as they would do during a Blood Moon Horde. And you see how slow this is. This is 3 of them. And after all this time, they have gotten about halfway up, fell down. Let's make some more noise. They have already actually forgotten about me because it's apparently more than 60 seconds, and she fell down. And then finally, come on lady, you can make it. I know it's hard in those high heels. And down. She is still trying to make it up. She has fallen down and she's restarting again. And she has fallen herself as well. You see how difficult it is for them to just path all the way up. They keep forgetting and then they get lost, and then they decide, I don't know, let me go somewhere else. And that's exactly what we're trying to have happen. We're trying to use this mechanism. Let's block that off again. Now let's just see how it is. There might be some damages. Again, this is why you might want to steal them. Generally, during normal usage, they will not break through, but they potentially could if you have a really late horde. Now, to make it even more useful and more deadly, we're going to put in a little bit of an extra feature that I really like. It's having these sledge turrets. Now, sledge turrets, they do a little bit of damage themselves. So this one does about 21. Depends on the level of it and the actual skills you have. If you're using robotics inventory and everything, of course, you do a little bit more damage, which is useful. Now, we're going to put this one in, and this is where having, for instance, let's say we can probably actually that. What we want to do, we want to get down to this. So that when I place it here, oh, that one is okay. Let's this something like this. That should do it. And then we can I block it? I can't block it off here. It's actually really good. Block it there. Gonna block off there. Here. Want to have a way where we can actually replace it, but don't that thing, because we don't want them to start thinking that if they go through here they can get to us. Good question. What could we do? Well, for now we'll do half block like this. backup turret. Does that give me the opportunity to put it down again? Doesn't. But what if we put a half block and we just flip it up? Simple advanced. That. This does. Now my concern is that the zombies decide that they can actually get through here. Alright, so something like this probably. I put a regular block there. It should be good enough. This one is sticking out a little bit. And maybe see if we can... Perfect, I think. That should be good. I mean, as long as you get it to actually bash anything that is coming this way. And I might want to actually pull it just a little bit better. So that it's like so. We'll see. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, if they make it all the way up here, it's, you know, it doesn't really matter that much. You know, you hopefully are able to deal with them yourself. We can actually do something like that. And then we're going to do some that. We're actually going to make this slightly higher. We have a little bit more headroom here. A little bit too claustrophobic inside there otherwise. Like this. Oh my. Oh no, it's a 5. Sorry. I'm like, oh crap, did I do it wrong? Oh no, of course I have this side as well. Whew. That scared me a little bit. It is 5 by 5. Whew. I suddenly thought that I've done it wrong, obviously. So now we have a roof as well for all the lighting, everything. And we can actually pretty much flying here. Something like this. Let's open this. And let's try to bring in a bunch of these. Oh, right. Let's try that again. Let's bring in a bunch of. So, and we're gonna put a little bit. That. See if we can sort of see what happens here. A bunch of them. And normally when you are obviously doing a Blood Moon Horde, they will come in one by one. You don't get like this huge group of, well, not that, what, 12 or whatever is huge, but you don't get them all one. They do trickle in a little bit better, so they don't line up as smoothly as this, but you know, this works anyway. They do make their way up, and I'm keep shooting it because they're feral, they're not Blood Moon Hordes. And let's see, when she comes up here, they should, yep, should take care of her. Oh, come on. Yep. Oh, and she might actually, no, she actually got knocked down. This placement seems like it's pretty good. Let's see the last one coming up here. Come on, hit her, she's hot. Oh, and there she goes. I didn't do anything. I was just standing there. Of course, you probably would want to do some sniping or something, because otherwise you're going to get really bored. Okay, let's shoot a bit. Now she has lost the scent of me, so she decided that she's just going to bash a little bit. It'll happen, which is all right. And let's see if... Yep. Take her down. Take her down. Oh! And they actually do take damage from this. If I go down and have a look at her, you'll see there's a bunch of damage. And the fire damage might also give them a little bit of extra if they get set on fire. So this is of course just regular zombies. These are not the radiated, these are not the demolishers, but pretty much all zombies work the same. You might have slightly different experience with, for instance, the spider zombies, but they have a tendency, because they're jumping, that they might simply be jumping off on their own, which is even better. So this works really, really well. And there it is, the final creation, 5 by 5 Wizard's Tower. They walk up here, run up here, jump off, and if they do make it up here, they get knocked off by the sledge turret, and we can stand in here, of course, with our conveniences of a home. You know, of course, beer, old beer, something. We can, you know, fry up a little bit of food, and of course, wash our hands, very important. And you know, if we want to read something, we got plenty of entertainment here. Nice little base that you can spend the whole whole evening or night at during the Blood Moon Horde. Of course, we wouldn't get some light in. We can do that as well, but we probably want to keep him closed so we don't attract too much attention. But yeah, otherwise this works really, really well. And how does a base like this work during a Blood Moon Horde? Well, why don't we check that out and have a look? You see they are already spawning. We're seeing a vulture vomiting randomly. Interesting. I bumped it up to 16 concurrent zombies just to have a little bit more, and I'm standing in here. And of course we wanted to see how the zombies are reacting to this build without us actively fighting, so we can do that. It's a little bit hard once they get into here because you don't really have a good view. You could of course shoot these very annoying vultures. I didn't put any particular defenses in for them. See, the zombies are making their way up here, and eventually some might actually make it past the junk sledge. It really depends a little bit of the timing that they are approaching here. Normally they wouldn't, but it can definitely happen, and we'll probably see that eventually. But they get knocked down, they jump up, and it's really slow for them, and sometimes they walk off or jump off by themselves, and they get just a little bit of a shove there, falling down. Oh, it's actually beautiful. I love the colors in Alpha 20. Just not that red with that green and the white and everything. Those are a little bit annoying, those that are up there, but fine. We can do something about that later on. Oh, she gets knocked down. And we probably will end up getting a little bit of experience simply by virtue of them burning up. Falling down, they don't necessarily give us an experience, but burning up, they should. And that would happen now and then, but generally we wouldn't be getting a lot of experience. But it's a really easy AFK base that is actually simply because the zombies in the game don't have the ability to jump up and sort of make their way up through blocks very smoothly. It's probably something that I wish they would fix, so that sort of they run up and climb up and crawl their way up a lot faster than what is happening right now, because even with 16 concurrent, there's nothing new spawning. They just come up one by one. If you want to make this more enjoyable, you probably want to simply go up and you can make your way down. Of course, in a design like this, unless you have any ladders, which would make it difficult to make in a 5x5, I would have to haul out or something. It's a little bit difficult to make your way up if you fall down. You do have to kill them. But you see, I can make my way down here. Okay, and you see there's that one. Shoot that one. Shoot that annoying one as well. And I can make my way down here and just shoot them and have a little bit of fun myself. Because they're so slow, so you generally don't get a lot of them coming at the same time. And you see a little bit of staggering, and you knock them down. Also quite fun, as long as you don't fall down. Okay, I'm almost all the way down here. And when I do need to reload, I move back a little bit. Probably want to move back a little bit more. But you see they're coming up. This is actually the first stage where they're coming up. You see, I've been able to make my way down all the way here. And I might not want to do that. I might want to stay. Was that a... There might be some there. Take out these as they're coming. And of course, if you do kill them, they will end up respawning, and then you can shoot them. It's not that easy because a lot of them don't die unless you kill them, and shooting them as they run in can be a little bit tricky. It can obviously be done. You can shoot them when they fall down themselves, if they're falling down on this side. If they're falling down behind here, it's a little bit more tricky. So you can be active if you want to, and you do have a lot of opportunity to just take your time to shoot them, because they don't come a lot of them at the same time. And you do notice there is going to be a little bit of damage to the blocks around, and this is where you probably want to make sure you steal up at least the path, because that is the part that if it fails, you end up having more problems, because they basically will be beating at the bottom of the base of the tower, and that's exactly what you want to be avoiding. And it looks so cool in slow motion. as they sort of make their way up here. We see the spiders on the way coming, and he gets knocked down. Oh, it's so graceful, so beautiful, so professional. Wow, I love it. Looks good. Oh, and she might actually make it. Oh no, she almost made it through, but she didn't. We might actually see our first one here. See if that one actually knocked. Oh no, sorry. Took a swan dive. But if I have to say so myself, I think the 5x5 Wizard's Tower is probably one of the most effective 5x5 bases that you can make. If you want to make it AFK, you pretty much can do that. I mean, I have no traps. I could put in traps and make it even more effective. It's simply because of how it's built. If you want to be active, even if you're using a sledgehammer, you can use a club, or you can use your M60, your favorite weapon, your shotgun, whatever you want to do. You could do that as well, because they sort of get spaced out and you have enough time to slowly bash them in the face or just shoot them in the head, depending on what your preference is. Shouldn't be any issue at all. Demolishers could happen. If you are really unlucky, the sledge turret might trigger it, but it means it's going to be blowing off sometime or somewhere down there and do a little bit of damage. It shouldn't be anything that will be catastrophic for the Blood Moon Horde. So have you tried making a Wizard's Tower or even a 5x5 Wizard's Tower? Why not let me know in the comment section below. And thank you very much for watching to the end of the video. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that. See you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the Vedui community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.